I'm in my garden on this Remembrance Sunday 2023. Just been to the moments of silence, the memorial and the start of the march. And yeah, how far away is peace one day? We're in a time of the wars, many wars across the world, but particularly Israel and Gaza, Hamas, and the end times. And Jesus Christ warns that we will hear of these wars and rumours of wars as well, and to keep faith, because these things must take place. And perhaps, if only, is that we realise that conflict and war is not the way to peace. So I do write on the restoration and revelation of Jesus Christ and the light's returning. And we seem to be in a time of denial of so many things that are going on in the world that are not right. But people are standing up now. I'll start with this one, Sign of the Times, the last days, 2 Timothy 3. This poem is about the negativity and fear we are bombarded with daily. Words can kill too, to positively die, Genesis 2:17. And of course, we're being asked not to positively die by keeping and learning the goodness of God and God's love and God's moral and righteous laws for love. And yet we're drip, 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 drop, 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 desire, desire, desire. Delirious, delinquent dreams of perfect people, of perfect women, men, people of wealth and material happiness. Everything you have ever wanted, everything you could ever want. Everything. Sunny page 3 becomes live on 5 to lead you into temptation. Get rich quick, bet and gamble here and now. You can be in the Times list of the richest so-called privileged people, mirroring their self-indulgence of everything, selling you everything for an independent life of sin, thin illusions of sex which are virtually unobtainable, sell a permanent market of inexhaustible perfection. Sex for this and sex for that, sexed up until the innocence of life regresses to children. Children, even babies, becoming nothing more than images to some, not really human beings who need protection and guidance. Children need a guardian. We need a guardian for joy, life and beauty. Let's pretend we care. Let's print what we dare. Killings, stabbings, dying, death, disease and murder. Murderous words and vices, psychopathically cold, selling sex and more sex again to drip-drop desires to make you dependent, addicted to the feel-good of a daily addiction, a need to feed the paper perfection of celebrity and vice, wanting to entice to buy your fame and fortune for a life that's nice. A television and telegraph for the observer to idolise the 7 deadly sins. Buy your death here for only 66p, to sell your soul to the devil. Sacrifice your faith and love here to fear, 66p to buy your ego desires and sex on a Sunday. 66p to sacrifice the Sabbath. 66p for death, news of death and deathly news, dying to love, dying to hope, dying to faith, dying. News today. Let's create some fear because Armageddon is here. Sell, fear. They can't get enough. Comfort with temptation and they will buy redemption. Sell more fear and then they will positively die. For surely to positively die means to negatively live. Yes, you negatively live in fear. Oh dear. Hark, the herald says, here is today's good news. Just as it was meant to be in Eden, so it can be again. So it will be. To positively love is the only way to positive life for all. So let's publish Life Today, the global good news revelation. Love is not a cortisol. Stressful moment, that is. Mirror the positive love of life and mail it to your friends, send it to your friends, tweet it to your friends, and send it to your friends. Revelation Sonnet. The revolution is at hand, for surely God knows what is best for man. He says, don't dim his light with sin, for surely sin will not benefit him. When is doomsday? None can be sure, but maybe already there is a door to open for man to see how God's love will become heavenly. The door only needs one special key to make life perfect for you and for me. We need to polarize the spectrum of light and shine the way forth for all to live right. The light is shining bright forthwith and commands consciousness of how God's love forgives. And on this Poppy Sunday, poppies are the source of many of our painkillers, but they're not the source of our natural painkillers. Poppies, floppy poppies floating in the sun, are a source of joy for everyone. They should grow amongst the wheat we eat, and in small doses are a treat. Like frankincense, they conquer fear, but only if we respect them, dear. They help remove the pain of man, but won't fulfill the challenge or plan. You see, it's up to us to grow, like scarlet poppies in the snow, fighting off the frost and cold with love's golden reddened glow. When we find that golden glow, our own opiates we can grow. And Isaiah 9:6, for to us a child is born, a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders. And he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Of the greatness of his government and peace there will be no end. He will reign on David's throne, and over his kingdom establishment and upholding with justice and righteousness from that time on and forever. The zeal of the Lord Almighty will accomplish this. God has a promise. And also in Zechariah 4:2, not by a military force, nor by power, but by my spirit, Jehovah of armies has said. And that's the cup of love with the two whole lives, or olive trees. And so the seven spirits of God being the love, faith, discernment, righteousness, consciousness, brotherly love, and union, for unity with love and community. Yeah. Ooh. And so I've got All Hallows Eve, Darkness to Light, War Sonnet about the conflict of man, Israel and the war, and Jerusalem, which is a poem for the New Jerusalem, for Zion, heaven on earth. O green and pleasant land of the dove, what has happened to peace and love? For Jerusalem that was being made here is now being turned into terror and fear. O green and pleasant land, do you hear? That Jerusalem that is made here, I need to change that, is twofold peace that is meant to be from living a good life positively. Positively living means not to die from negativity that is the lie, lies from love's opposition called stress. It is stress that creates in us such a mess. Jerusalem, negative you are not meant to be, but healing our lands with positivity, because love is always positive. And I have a call for peace here, which has been sent to governments and the end. So we need to attain to the fullness of walking with spirit. We need to protect the children's innocence, which at this time of candy kittens, phallic shaped sweets for children, we are definitely in those last days. Satan is having his last last go. And it's time for people to realise that abuse is the source of all the mental health problems. Yeah. And the grief and pain and many sicknesses and ailments that people suffer with. So I'll read Call for Peace and a bit more on another video, because I'm not sure how much longer I've got on my phone. But the end, Revelation 21:5. The end is the beginning of the word endorphin. The end is the beginning of the word. Oh, the end of the quest for heart smiles in love, mimicked by opium, posing as opiates, killing pain, knowing pleasure, addictive, seductive, seducing. But the lie, the end, ending enslavement to cortisols crying for an end. The end, the release of endorphins, the dopamine, the serotonin, the oxytocin, the anandamide, binding the blood in marriage with love, which is always positive, our blood. The endorphin is the end. The end is the beginning of the word endorphin, his love in our blood, the beginning of freedom. The end is the beginning of his promise. The end is the beginning. For look, I am making all things new. And Isaiah 54:13, all thy children shall be taught of the Lord, and great shall be the peace of thy children. So lead your sons and daughters, so guide and direct them from the time they are very small, to teach them in the ways of the Lord, that peace will be their companion throughout life. And if we look at the levels of stress, hurt, pain, anxiety, mental health disturbance, it's clear to see that by going against the laws of God's moral and righteous love, hurts us. It hurts, takes away the spirit of love, and creates pain and grief and stress. And so the heavenly New Jerusalem, the stones will cry out for the conscious process of healing love, for the light of God's love, for the wholeness of the rainbow promise, the fullness of the light of the colour. And God's love is not a cortisol stress hormone, and neither is peace. It is time to end all abuse. There's a lot of abuse in this world, brushed under the carpet, hidden, so it needs to come out. Yeah, domestic abuse is no longer acceptable or brushed under the carpet, and child abuse neither. And our ruling and governing bodies should be upholding the law for justice and peace. And until that is done, there's going to be pain and suffering and sickness and illness and anxieties and trauma. You all know it. We all know it. We just have to stand up for what is right. God bless. Jesus Christ is returning. The light of the world is here. Time to end all abuse. Time for heaven on earth. God bless this Remembrance Day. Remembering what people have fought for in the past. And I don't think that they fought for this confused, abusive world that we are living in, ruled by fear. Time for thy kingdom come and thy will to be done on earth as it is in heaven. God bless. Hallelujah. Thanks be to God.